It was on January 16th, 2004, that Dylan came into this world. Another son to join Jackson and Connor and begin to fill out that swim team. New life in a house always brings a lot of excitement. There's new expectations and new joy. Expectations for that first night when the baby sleeps through. And the first time the baby rolls over and crawl and pull up, and those first steps, and the first time you hear mama or daddy, or if you're a grandparent, papa. But for Dylan, those first things never came. 3 months before his first birthday came the word that Dylan had Krabbe disease, untreatable and final. And according to the doctors, the family should begin to prepare to lose Dylan, probably within a year or so. But Phil and Amy, some of us were there that day, and we know how stunned and heartbroken you were, but you made a choice that day. A choice that you were going to fight for every day of life you could give Dylan. And that you would make every day a day of life, not just a day of being alive. So Dylan's life was not one of laying at home waiting to die. It was full of trips to the zoo and vacations in the mountains and at the beach and ball games and swim meets. Dylan's life was one that was full of love, just like your other children's. And your love, your arms that held him, your voices that spoke to him, gave him more life and more time than any of the doctors ever suggested was possible. Hi, Sophie. The life that you gave to Dylan was remarkable. But more remarkable was the return of life that Dylan gave to you and to others. If you watch the slideshow, you know that in spite of the disease that was ravaging his body, Dylan was a smiling, handsome young man whose blue eyes, curly hair, and great smile brought joy and encouragement to many, not just his family, but to people that never actually met Dylan. Dylan's impact was, however, a lot more than isn't he cute and what a great smile. He impacted people in profound and lasting ways. And I would encourage any of you to go to caringbridge.org and just see what I mean by that. From coast to coast, Florida to California, north to south, New York to Georgia, the Colorado mountains, the Nebraska plains, the land of cowboys in Oklahoma, and oil in Texas, and cheese in Wisconsin, and around the world like Australia. Thousands of people, thousands of times, in fact, more than 100,000 times over the 4 years, Dylan touched people's lives, and they said so on the website. Their words were, Dylan has inspired our daughter to look beyond herself, to love and deeply care for another human being. Dylan makes me hold my 3 daughters just a little bit tighter and to hug my 11-month-old just a little bit longer. Dylan has brought countless Christians together in the name of the Lord. Your son made me realize how always grateful I need to be. Dylan, the Lord has given you words beyond your ability to speak them. You say, life is wonderful with your smile. You say, Lord, you are my comfort with every effort to hold your head high. You say, thank you, Mom and Dad, with your sweet desire for them to hold you. Sheila Mulkin summed it up well in a note to Amy and Phil. She said, Most of us will live our lives with a small sphere of influence. Dylan has touched more lives than you will probably ever know. But if we paid attention to the words of Jesus, we wouldn't be surprised at Dylan's impact on others. The disciples asked Jesus one day, he says, "Do you hear what these children are saying?" And Jesus said, "Yes, I hear them. And haven't you read in God's word, from the mouth of children and babies, I'll furnish a place of praise." Dylan, in his brief life, was a place of praise for the Lord. So though we're saddened and grieved by his leaving us, we can join Amy and Phil in repeating the words of Dylan's song. Lord, I praise you for this little one, and I thank you for this little while. There is another thing Jesus said about children. In Mark, he said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these." And last Tuesday morning, Jesus said, "It's time to let Dylan come to me, for he belongs with me in the kingdom of heaven." Listen especially to these words as Michael sings Homesick. In Christ, there are no goodbyes, and in Christ, there is no end. So I hold on to Jesus with all that I have to see you again, to see you again.